Hello, my name is Jason and welcome to Serve the Horn. The purpose of the video today is to finish our discussion on the descriptors of acoustical energy, or how we describe sound. Today's topic has to do with time and the sound envelope. The sound envelope is a graphic representation of what our sound looks like. There are 4 different parts to the sound envelope, as you can see on this picture here. The beginning of the envelope is called the attack, or what we would call the front of the note. The second part of the sound envelope is called the decay. This is where the development of the timbre and the definition of the note center occurs. The third part of the envelope is called the sustain. This is where the length and the core of the note is fully developed. And the fourth part of the envelope is called the release. As you saw in the picture, the sound envelope occurs over time. We're going to be using our tonal energy app again, and we're going to use the analysis portion. This gives you an opportunity to see what your sound envelope looks like when you play a note. Okay, now working with this particular exercise includes another set of changes we have to make to the tonal energy app. So what I'd like you to do is make sure that we set our temperament to just, and what I'd like you to do is set that to F. So go down to your keyboard or your wheel, whichever you're using, and double click the F. The really cool part about this app is that there's an analysis portion. It can analyze your sound in a couple of different ways. We're going to use the bottom portion here. So I went down and I clicked on my analysis button, and as you can see, there is what is a frequency representation or a waveform representation at the bottom of the screen here. In the middle of the screen, you see 3 different options of analyzing your sound with this portion of the app: wave, tuning, or both. For now, keep it on wave. We will talk about, we will come back to using both very soon, but I want to make sure we keep this nice and simple, okay? We are going to create our own sound envelope. You saw earlier in our discussion what half of one looks like. It was basically a cut and a portion of the top half of the sound envelope. So I'll simply play for you a couple different versions here. As you can see, the analysis portion of this app is simply amazing. What we're going to do here with this exercise is really concentrate on a good sound envelope, which means a nice attack, a good decay to a sustain, and a very nice release. A lot of students have a problem of cutting off their notes very quickly, kind of like this. As you can see, the back of the analysis here, it's a flat back edge. We want it to be nice and tapered. Make sense? Now that we've had an opportunity to both see and create our own sound envelope, we are now able to apply it to the exercise called tapered droning, which was influenced by Philip Farkas's pre-warm-up. Now we're going to take a look at our tapered droning exercise. I mentioned before that there are 3 different options we can use with the analysis portion of the app, and I've turned it over to the both section. And what that does is that it produces your sound envelope, but it also shows you where you are when you're playing your note, sharp or flat, and it's represented by an orange line. Here we go. As you can see, I started off a little sharp, but I was able to bring it down and maintain my tone. Something we discussed earlier is this idea of making sure we maintain a very steady tone quality. And the tuning portion of this is very unforgiving. So be aware that we need to always continuously work on playing in the center of our note. Now the exercise is an arpeggiated exercise that was inspired by Philip Farkas. what I've done is that I've captured the notes that we're going to use within the key of F, which I'm just going to use F major and F minor. That's going to leave out the flat second, which is a G flat, and also a tritone of B natural. As you can see in the exercise, there are 4 different versions you can do. One is a half note, one is a dotted quarter, one is a true quarter note, and one is a staccato eighth note. In order to create a good sound envelope with some good space, I have chosen to use the dotted quarter note version of this exercise. So I'm going to demonstrate the first line, which is version 2 on your piece of sheet music. In order to do so, we will be droning to this. Make sure to go back to where, be sure to click on sounds, click on temperament, make sure it says just temperament, make sure your transposition is F+5. Don't worry about the metronome for now. Click on your sustain button, and if you are not in the key of F for just temperament, simply double click that key, F, and that'll put you where you need to be. Click on that pitch, and click on analysis. In a moment, in the very center of the screen, you're going to see our very friendly smiley face. He's still there. So I'm not going to worry about the metronome right now. I'm simply going to play this arpeggiated pattern. As you saw when you were able to observe the analysis portion, I did what I can to create a nice solid sound envelope. I did what I can to make sure my orange line was as close to the center as possible. So there's a lot of things to look at and also think about through this exercise. So what I'd like to do, we're only going to play a portion of this. We're going to play the major and minor version of this. As you can see, it continues through the exercise. Make sure that you stay droning to F the whole time. As you on the what would be the third line, or in this case 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5th or 6th line of the piece of sheet music you have, it goes G to B flat to D flat to G to B flat. Although this particular triad is not F major, these notes are still represented within the key of F. So I want to make sure that you keep tuning these notes in the key of F. Here we go. Sustain our pitch. Play an F. We're not going to worry about a metronome right now. Later you can set it to 60 beats a minute if you wish. My suggestion to you is to play this very slowly and interact with the drone. I've done this for a while, so I have a good idea of where I place my pitches, but There were a couple in there that weren't where they were supposed to be, so I'm going to be doing some practicing. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Keep your practice focused, and I'll see you next time.